Okay, we're going to build a budget in Excel. So first I'll bring to your attention the rows, 1, 2, 3 from left to right. Those are rows. Columns A, B, C, D, E. Going downward, those are columns. We'll start off in cell A1. This is where you want to put headers like description. And you can move it over the way that you want, however big you want it. The next header will be first third of the month. The next header will be second third of the month. The last header will be third third of the month. And then finally notes. That's where you put any notes to tie anything together here. Now what you do is highlight the columns B, C, and D. Highlight them, right click, format cells, currency. So that way anything you enter in those cells anywhere in here will be money. So let's think of our needs for a budget. You want to always think of needs, not wants. Wants will come later, but let's think of needs first. So we'll put mortgage or rent, and that usually comes on the first third of the month. We'll just put $1,500, and we'll put utilities. We'll allocate $250 each third of the month to that. How about gasoline or vehicle expenses? We'll just put $250 for that. How about food expenses? So we'll put $500 on each portion of the month there, each third. And down here we'll put total expenses. So now you want to put in this column B16 equals sum begin parentheses. And now you can move the cursor and highlight everything up to cell B15, hit enter, and then it sums everything above it. Now what's cool is you can highlight that same function, go to the bottom right corner until your cursor turns into a plus sign, then pull it over twice, and it does the same thing. Everything above it gets added. Now what you want to do is put income and then carryover amount and difference. Now somewhere down here anywhere you can put the amount that you typically make on every 30th or 15th if you're semi-monthly, or you can add it up every week. But the way that I divide thirds is the first third is typically the 1st through the 14th. The beginning of the second third is on the 15th. That's for semi-monthly. And then the beginning of the third is on the 30th. That's how I divide it up. So it typically includes the 30th and 31st. I know it's not equal, in actual thirds if you were to divide up a month, but it's just a distinct period of time. And that's how I'm defining it here. So my income will be equals sum begin parentheses. I'll grab that 2,000 and hit enter. Now the carryover amount will be whatever you had in the bank already before this addition of income. So let's just say you had about 2,000 in the bank already. So we'll put equals sum. We'll say 2,000 plus this income, enter. Now the difference is equals sum begin parentheses. You grab this carryover amount and then use the minus sign then the total expenses, and hit enter. And that's your difference for this portion of the month, the first third. Now, this second third of the month, you'll go to the carryover amount, hit equals, sum, begin parentheses. You noticing a pattern here? Equals, sum, begin parentheses. That starts any function. Now grab the difference from the previous third, hit plus that income amount because you'll be getting paid on the 15th. Now find the difference for this column. The difference will be equals sum, begin parentheses, carryover amount minus the expenses for that third. And there's your answer. Do that again. Carryover amount will be equals sum, begin parentheses, that difference from the previous third of the month minus the total expenses for that third of the month. Hit enter. I'm sorry. I'll do that again. The carryover amount will be the previous third of the month's difference plus the amount of income because you'll be getting paid on the 30th. Hit enter. Now we'll do the subtraction. Yep. So equals sum, begin parentheses, the carryover amount minus the total expenses from that third of the month. Hit enter. You can highlight this one red. I like to do that because it draws your attention to it. And now it becomes pretty important to understand that, so keep your eyes focused on that. We'll build some more worksheets here. We'll just do 2 months. I'll go back here and go above the 1 and left of the A. Select that box. Everything gets highlighted, and hit Control and C at the same time. That highlights everything and puts it into memory. Now go to sheet 2, hit Control and V, that pastes it. Sheet 3, same thing, Control V, go back to sheet 2, and go into the carryover amount. If you highlight all of that and then erase it, just leaves you with equals sum, begin parentheses. Now you can actually go into sheet 1, grab this red cell, hit enter, and that will pull over the amount you ended up with in that bank account at the end of the previous month. And all of the other functions react accordingly. So now we'll go into sheet 3 and do that again. Go to the carryover amount for cell B20. Erase all the content in there. It says equals sum, begin parentheses. Go into sheet 2 now. Select cell D21 and then hit enter. And now everything reacts accordingly. Now, according to this lifestyle, we're actually declining by $500 over time. Let's look at sheet 1. It says $3,500 is what we ended up with. If you look at sheet 2, it says $3,000 is what we end up with. If you look at sheet 3, $2,500 is what we end up with. So with the amount of money that we make on the 15th and 30th, which is $2,000, then something's got to give in our lifestyle. That means we might have to make some cuts, maybe in food or utilities or gasoline. So we'll have to eliminate about $500 worth up here in order to get by without an increase or a decrease, so to just stabilize. We'll have to make up $500. Or you can try to make more money at your work, maybe work some overtime. Anyways, you'll figure it out. But that's the gist of building a budget. Now you can even go in here into the sheets and rename them. April 2020 2023, enter. Rename sheet 2. May 2023, sheet 3, rename July 2023. And everything reacts accordingly. But in this particular budget, with only these needs according to this amount that you get for income, is still living beyond your means, because the amount we end up with is $1,000 less than what we began in the first month. So it's declining over time. And it's good to do these budgets to find out how much you're overspending, so that you can learn to live within your means and become wealthy with your own income over time. Thank you.